said, our second evaluator also has at least 10 clocks at home. So here's another guy who's running around the house 2 Sundays every year trying to synchronize things. Or Testani.
Yes, it's very propitious times that we had, and well, Cathy Lee, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is an opportunity to evaluate a subject that's near and dear to my heart. For those of you that don't know me, I recently just moved into a talent development role within my company, so we are training salespeople all the time. So you picked the that being said, I will take it as a novice and look at the content of this particular assignment. But one of the things that the book does point out, and what I'd like to point out and share with all of you, is one of the things that an effective salesperson needs to do at the very beginning of every sale is establish a rapport and build trust. And you do that by listening to and then delivering on those messages that the customer or prospect is delivering. So when I listen to your rapport, I think you're dynamic in terms of your friendly disposition, your style. You had an immediate rapport with Carl. I thought that was very, very well. If you were in my sales class, I would suggest that perhaps you didn't listen to what Carl was suggesting, because it was in his message about the SUV and the need for a large car, and in fact he steered you in the direction of the Highlander. So one of the things that, in getting back to the evaluation, it asked is, how effective were the speaker's questions in helping the buyer discover a problem that exists? Well, I think you asked all the right questions. I really do. I think you asked a lot of nice questions. One of the questions I might have suggested is that you'd ask, well, what model number are you looking to? And that would have helped you position a product that is, in fact, meeting the needs of the customer. So you would have been much further along in your cycle, because what you were attempting to do was walk him down a path that he didn't want to go down, and as a result, you would have never gotten that deal. You have to you either, if that's the only choice you have, but in your bag of tricks you had other choices. I mean, if that was the only choice you had, is the only product you had did not meet his needs, you're probably wasting your time and his. But in any case, you wouldn't have built rapport, because you would have been not responding to it. And so trust is very, very important in the sales cycle. And establishing that trust is very key. How well did the speaker handle any objections? Well, again, I mentioned the subject may have prevented you from responding effectively. Given that you weren't familiar with the product, you know, in personal life, cars were not your forte. I would suggest that in the future you pick a product that is something that you're more comfortable in speaking about. You know, it doesn't have to be a fancy car. It could have been anything that maybe, what's that software application for lawyers? You know, sell that, Nexus or whatever it is, and you know, sell that and describe that. I mean, it's just some suggestions. Take a topic that you're comfortable with, even in role play, it just helps you an awful lot. That being said, I thought the cold call was very, very effective, but with those caveats associated with it. Thank you.